Hi, and welcome to Jim's Friday Freakout. I'm James Michael Reilly, your host. If you like this segment, please like us in the space below, leave comments about things you'd like to see in the future, keep it clean, and join our Facebook group, James Michael Reilly Studios, where you'll get the inside scoop on lots of other great, fun, and inspiring content brought to you by James Michael Reilly Studios. This week on Jim's Friday Freakout, Urban Legends. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun-dun. Da-da! Part 1, because we hope you like it enough that we'll do another one. Da-da-da, da-da-dun. Da-da! Urban legends have been with us for a really long time. And here's how Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines an urban legend: an often lurid story or anecdote that is based on hearsay and widely circulated as true. Now, here's my view of it, that they're half right. Okay, let's break it down. Urban legends. Well, a legend is something that people believe and have believed for a while without any firm basis in whether or not it's true, and that much is certainly true of these things. But the urban part, here's from the website insider.com, and I'm not sure how reliable a source of information they are. I just don't know. But let's look at this picture, and I'm not just talking about the photoshopped ghost lady in the foreground. How urban does that setting look to you? Here's the BBC, a source I trust a lot. What makes an urban legend? Well, setting aside for a moment the ridiculously lame ghost guy at lower front, it's a forest. How in heaven's name is that an urban setting? So urban legends, well, not so much. Here's what I would say. An urban legend is folklore for the hipster set. It's cool. They tend to be short, and they don't require much attention span. And if you throw the word urban in, it makes it sound cooler. Let's take a look at one. He exploded. Hey, Mikey. People who were around back in 1972 may remember the Life cereal commercial that ran for a number of years, beginning in 72, featuring an adorable imp named Mikey. He's a little boy who doesn't like anything, but when given good-for-you Life cereal, it turns out he likes it. Hey, Mikey. All right, to get some insight into the urban legend that has grown up around this adorable young character, I turned to Snopes.com, a fact-checking website that I trust. Now, Snopes got its start with just this sort of stuff back in 1994, back before most people were even on the internet, looking at things like urban legends and hoaxes and rumors. And since then, they've grown to cover things from was a man saved from a shotgun blast because his iPhone absorbed some of the impact? True. To political stuff. Did George Bush refuse to sell his home to African Americans? False. But Snopes is one of the first places I go when I want to figure out if something I see online is true or not. Here's what they had to say about urban legends, and I love this insight. Urban legends require victims who are known yet anonymous, the ubiquitous friend of a friend, to lend them a touch of credible realism without allowing for easy verification of the details. Yeah, there it is right there. So what's the urban legend that grew up around Mikey from the Life cereal commercial? Mikey supposedly had a bad interaction with Pop Rocks, which is also a product that first came out in the 1970s. It was developed by General Mills in the 1950s, but they didn't market it till the 70s. It's a candy, you may have tried it, that has a kind of a carbonation trapped in it, so when you eat it, you can feel it and hear it popping and crackling in your mouth. The story that grew up around adorable Mikey was that he ate Pop Rocks with carbonated soda, and the resulting gas caused his stomach to explode, and he died. Here's what Snopes.com tells us about this one. First of all, the actor who played him, John Gilchrist, is still alive. As of 2012, he was a functioning adult working for the MSG network in New York City. 2, Pop Rocks, despite the part of the rumor was, they took them off the market. Well, at the time when they disappeared from the market for a while, General Foods sold them to Kraft, who then marketed them under a different name for a while, and now has them back in their full glory as Pop Rocks. Go buy some online if you doubt what I'm telling you. And thirdly, the essential biological fact that people can burp. If a lot of gas is generated in your stomach, you're just going to burp. So the Mikey Pop Rocks one, not really true. But here's a bonus verdict. Here's a bonus urban legend that if you throw Alka-Seltzer to seagulls, they'll gobble it down really quickly, and then they will explode and they'll die. Well, this trips up against the also biological fact that seagulls, like humans, can burp. I checked this out by looking for videos online. Found this one, this misspelled title, Alka-Seltzer Seagulls, and gave up a minute and 12 seconds of my life I'll never get back. It's just a guy throwing stuff to seagulls. Nothing happens, which apparently is exactly what happens when you throw Alka-Seltzer to seagulls. Nothing. Next one, the urban legend that rats swimming through the sewer pipes can enter people's homes through the toilet. Well, let's take a little deeper dive, sorry about the pun, by looking at this video from a National Geographic special. Apparently National Geographic was slumming the day that they put this one out. Please play. Oh, good Lord. It looks like they're not going to play on my PowerPoint as virtual background. But as you can see from the video, National Geographic went to the trouble of creating a cutaway but yet watertight toilet, introducing a rat into the pipe underneath, and then discovering that the rat can swim through all that tight piping. They stop partway along for where there's an air pocket to take a breath, and then continue on their journey into the toilet. So, bad news, folks. This one's true. In fact, hilariously, Seattle and King County in Washington, which is where Seattle is located, even put out a public service announcement telling people what to do if they have a rat in their toilet. Highlights among these instructions include stay calm. Perhaps toilet rats can sense fear in humans. Keep the lid down. Makes a lot of sense. And flush the toilet. Those all sound like great suggestions. When I looked more closely at this public service announcement, I made a disturbing discovery. Check it out there lower right. Now, this is Seattle and King County. And this public service announcement about toilet rats includes a picture of Martin Luther King. Now, the fact that I'm recording this on Martin Luther King weekend makes this, in some creepy and disturbing way, kind of providential. But I did a little bit of digging. See, Washington was founded as a state in 1851, long before Martin Luther King. So why would there be a county in this 170-year-old state named after him? Well, it turns out they named it after a different guy named King, and then in 2005 reattributed the name King County to Martin Luther King in honor of the fallen civil rights leader. I'd much rather have found this out in a different context, but way to go, Washington State. And here's a bonus urban legend while we've been talking about toilets, that arachneus gluteus spiders can hide under toilet seats and bite people when they sit down. To give an air of reality to this urban legend, whoever started it said that at an airport in Chicago, and they didn't say which one, several ladies sat down on a bathroom toilet seat and got bitten by the arachneus gluteus spider. Symptoms of its bite include fever, chills, and in one case, death. Another symptom of the bite by the spider is that the whole thing is made up. There is no such thing as an arachneus gluteus spider. Sit down with confidence. Next urban legend. Now, this charming and whimsical sculpture, which appears at the 14th Street and 8th Avenue subway stop in New York City, gives tribute to one of the most enduring urban legends. And this one, unlike some of the others, is truly urban, at least in part. Okay, back in 1907, in Kearny, New Jersey, a public service worker was cleaning out a sewer, got bitten on the finger, and discovered an 18-inch alligator in the sewers of Kearny, New Jersey. We go forward to 1932 when several young boys found a 3-foot-long dead alligator in the Bronx River in New York City. The police were sent out with orders to find the rest of them, which the boys had said there were swarms of, and bring them back alive. Apparently there weren't swarms of them. They didn't bring any back alive or dead. But this urban legend really got traction in 1935 when a bunch of boys in East Harlem looked down into a storm sewer, and this was in the winter. They were getting rid of snow on the streets by throwing it down the sewer, saw an alligator, lassoed it, pulled it out. It tried to bite them. Could you blame it? And they killed it. And this for real alligator found in the sewers of Harlem, New York, was 8 feet long and 120 pounds. So this urban legend got a great boost from this. But as recently as 1997, in Casino Lake in Queens, which is part of New York City, a 4-foot-long alligator was caught by a counselor at a children's camp there. So these continue to crop up. But let's face it, that the real heart of the legend is that there are man-eating alligators in the sewers, grown fat on rats and other unsavory things, ready to pounce upon and kill unsuspecting civil workers. Well, I would say the verdict on this one is that it's a half-truth. If you're looking around in New York City, good luck looking, because you're not going to find a dangerous alligator in the sewers of New York. But New York's not the only place with sewers. And if you go down to Florida, knock yourself out. They got big dangerous gators. They got sewers. They got big dangerous gators in the sewers. This was a picture that appeared on ABC News in a storm sewer in Florida. And I absolutely love that while this story was airing, the crawl running across the bottom included, check it out, Ben Affleck to testify before Congress. I assume the photo and that crawl were not related. But this is not the only instance where it happened. I believe this was Fort Myers, Florida. An 11-foot alligator was pulled out of a storm sewer. Apopka, Florida. A man went out to get his mail, looked in the sewer grate by his mailbox, and saw a fairly large alligator hissing at him. He said he could feel the vibrations from the alligator hissing. Poor thing was probably scared to death. Sarasota County, Florida. The police included this picture of an alligator that got stuck trying to climb out of the sewer grating. And this picture, interestingly, appeared in the Hindustan Times, just reminding us that America still remains such an object of fascination among people all over the world that our dumb news stories get worldwide distribution. Now, this being from a part of the world where they don't have alligators, Hindustan in India, they use the term alligator and crocodile interchangeably in the story. They are not the same thing. But that story made worldwide headlines. All right, so here's a bonus story. The police in Loretto, Tennessee, told people not to flush their methamphetamines down the toilet, even if you're raided by the police, because they can get into the sewer system and cause very aggressive meth alligators. Now, by the time the Loretto, Tennessee police said that they posted this as a joke to underscore the fact you shouldn't be flushing drugs, this had been picked up by all the major news services. And you could read about meth gators all over the place. But rest assured, although alligators, after a long time of being endangered and hunted, are doing well and are spreading back into parts of Tennessee, meth alligators are myth alligators. But as long as the stories persist, people will still, let's face it, hope that, like this still from a 1980 cheesy movie called Alligator, that lurking just beneath our feet is a deadly danger. Thanks for watching, folks. If you've enjoyed our segment on urban myths, like us down below and join the James Michael Reilly Facebook group to get the latest information on more fun and inspiring segments. Thanks.